Hello, everyone. Let's hope I did the tech right today because each time is a mystery. Welcome to Crimson Harvest. We are already 5 episodes in. This will be episode 5, which is absolutely wild to me. Um, Whatever, chaos where the vampire cast likes to talk about awful things right before we go live has bled into this cast, which I don't know how I feel about that yet. I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves. You might notice we have a little bit of a switcheroo of faces here, and we'll get to explaining that in a minute. But CJ, you're back because you were gone last week, so why don't you start us off and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm CJ, the gay one, the perfect one, the immaculate, the fabulous, the scholastic dragon online. I play Assurance, who is, and I cannot stress this enough, not a problem, never will be a problem, and is the most reasonable of the group. Most of the things I just said are lies. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it to Dare. That's what I forget what we're doing. I haven't been here for a
That's
while.
fine. You can pass it. That works. That's less work for me. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Dare, pronouns she, they, Faye. I am here to be the actual, not problematic babe and bestie, Henrietta. There's nothing wrong with me. That's also a lie. So I'm just going to throw it over to Ian.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ian. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm playing Sera. Their pronouns are they, them. Sera would not believe themselves problematic, but I, Ian, am because I have normal feelings about edgy, white-haired, and blonde anime boys.
And somehow you
Well,
found a way to say it on
yeah,
air.
yeah. I have normal feelings about them. And I will specify if I talk about Alucard, it's the Castlevania one.
In the campaign wrap up, we'll do an edgy blonde anime boy session. We'll talk about Cloud. We'll talk about Alucard.
We'll talk about Sephiroth.
Oh, it's real. Okay.
Yeah.
And Val.
Hello, it is myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Valiant. Dorian Team has pronouns. And tonight I have the distinct pleasure of playing totally the brass devil, who uses he, him pronouns. I'll be playing Omkar masquerading as the brass devil who uses he, him pronouns. Yeah, you can find me around the internet at Valiant Dorian. And now back to the chaos. I'm adding it back to you, Max.
Yeah, we are missing Alyssa today. Alyssa is not feeling well, so we send them our best. They will be back with us in the next Hunter episode. I will say for transparency for the audience, Val was going to be here today no matter what. It's not like we nerfed Alyssa to have Val. I did make a new overlay with 6 slots, and then I unmade it and made this one instead. Let's hop into it, though. The last time that we were with the hunters, we did a little bit of side questing while Assurance was away, getting ready for their date. The hunters were approached by the Wheelwright sisters to do a job. They took a boat downriver to a farming town. On the way there, we encountered Enoch, who is the Fey patron of our hunter group, and Enoch requested some specific flowers that grow in this geographic area. That was taken care of, and they brought everything back. The flowers were magically collected by Enoch. The group then investigated the one of the local markets, found out about the high security, about the Countess's birthday party, which had just happened in our first vampire episode. We encountered some old friends of Henry's, kind of talking about how overworked the guards are, just like the amount of labor currently expected by the people working being a little preposterous. And then Assurance had a nightmare. Not Assurance, Chalice had a nightmare at the end. But Chalice isn't here, so we're not going to address that right now. What's important is that today Assurance has a date. You did get word that Dev wanted to change the location of this date. You were originally supposed to meet at his residence, but it seems that he has kind of rented out the dining hall or the restaurant of the nicest inn in town. The entire floor is yours. You receive this in correspondence the day before your date, and today, on the morning that you wake up, is the date. So is there anything that you or your partners are doing to prepare for the date?
I'm assuming that I get this as a letter.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long it's been since I've gotten a letter, but I think I wake up the day of, have a big stretch as I look perfect, as I roll out of bed. Hair looks great. It's braided already. I did it last night because who needs to do a lot more effort? I put my what am I gonna wear? I think Assurance is standing at the mirror, looking, wondering which of the do they wear something flowery and pretty? Do they put on some pants and a nice shirt? Something in between. We're going with the pants. And Assurance is just singing, like throwing things on the floor, what is it called? Basically, the energy of like, I've got a date and I'm gonna look good, and it's gonna be great.
It's the montage where you see the clothes just like flying, but no like body present, just article of clothing after
not
article
this,
clothing.
not this, maybe this. Okay, this. Puts on a red shirt, maybe some white trousers, in case things get strange. And just puts a few less weapons in their person, but that's not for the Brass Devil. That's for them. They feel comfortable holding as many weapons as possible at all times. Picks all of the places that doesn't put as many on the thighs because maybe someone wants to grab them. Definitely a few on the stomach, at the back, just trying to be convenient. And I think once they get dressed, I don't know what time the date is. CJ doesn't know, but I'm gonna assume it's soon or something, or tonight.
You're meeting. Yeah, you're meeting for like dinner time.
Got it.
Evening,
I'm assuming it's I don't know what time it is in the day, but they get their half dress on. They put half of the stuff on, put on the slacks, maybe not a shirt, keep the bra on, and they're gonna go downstairs and get breakfast and hope that someone's there to give them attention.
Is someone there to give them attention?
I'm likely there to provide attention.
My love, hello, good morning. Comes in, spins you around like a princess. The sun is shining. The tank is clean. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Is your head on correctly for tonight?
Yes. I mean, I don't have my shirt on, but I'm dressing well. I want to, dress to impress, dress for the job that you want, not the one that you have.
Oh, perfect. I have a spooky knife I found that I'm going to be trying out tonight as well. And then that's things. Oh, in case things go poorly.
Okay. Well, now when you say in case things go poorly, do you mean you're expecting things to go poorly, or you will be waiting for things to go poorly?
I mean,
a good, reasonable. Mm-hmm.
No, I would never expect any of your dates to go poorly. That's why after 3 of our dates, I figured out that they were dates.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, regardless, the Brass Devil probably has a guard, 2 guards, 3 guards in a row, and I want to try it tonight. At least 3 stabs to figure out if there's anything special with it.
She thinks about it. Okay, here's the deal. If they have any guards, I'll walk in, I'll look. If they have any guards, and then I'll say, okay, this is fine. My entourage would like to stay behind me. It's fine. But if they don't, then my wonderful lovers, plus Henry, will be staying outside, out the door. I want this date to go well.
Okay, so
How many hours? Oh, you first.
Oh, Henry.
Oh,
I've been listening quietly.
Didn't even hear you come in.
Yeah, I've just been listening, in the other room, just kind of letting you spin your story.
It's okay.
It's the truth.
No, I was thinking, so I shouldn't. Well, I feel like I should pack the spooky mask from our patron anyway. I think it'd be fun to try out.
You know, that is a good idea. The mask. What color is the mask?
Oh, I like mine to be like a royal purple, but I think we get to choose when we do the thing.
CJ question: Do we all have a mask, or is it one mask?
We can all summon different ones.
Yeah, you can summon.
Oh,
You can summon
cool.
different. It's like
It is different ones.
only like a pseudo physical thing. Like you have your your party's relationship with Enoch, and that allows you to call upon certain powers.
Got it. Yes. So I think that reminds me. Oh my god, I should get mine. It matches perfectly with my. You know what? Wonderful.
You
Mwah,
probably
mwah.
shouldn't wear it during the date and just trail
I'm
off.
gonna get my mask. It's gonna be a good date. Skip
Sure.
Checking in.
Stop
right?
skipping.
Aren't they like terrifying, like to behold? Like they're really spooky masks. That's like out of character. I need to make sure.
I feel like they are.
Yeah.
I feel like they could be, but also they can be. I feel like we have a little more freedom than that. I mean, they are gifted by the Fae, but they are also like great and terrible. So
These are weapons of war.
I like to think that they manifest to what the person kind of like the inner vibes of the person.
Yes.
That's fun.
So
yeah.
mine is both pretty and deeply horrifying.
do we
Oh
have
my
That
god,
makes
you're
sense.
matching the brass devil for the date.
Oh my god, yeah.
Now,
Sorry.
assurance.
Stop skipping for a minute. Yes, Steve.
How many hours do we have to wait outside before I assume you are dead?
None, because I don't die like that. I don't die that easily.
All right. Well, I appreciate your candor, but can I get a sort of realistic number to at least assume the worst for?
Okay. Fun question. Fun thing that maybe you're unsure of. Puts a hand on your hand, grabs your hand. My dear.
Pushes it off.
You have yet to accept my gracious date invites, so you wouldn't know this. I fuck on the first date. So
I didn't need to hear that, but wonderful for you then. So I can assume maybe 12 hours before I come a knocking.
you are picking up what I am laying down, and puts the hand back on your head, and I
Once
will be
again,
patiently
don't.
awaiting when I lay it down yet again. So 12 seems like a good. I mean, you can maybe check in every couple of hours.
How am I
Like-
supposed to do that?
I don't know. I already told Sera that, you know, if they have an entourage, I'm gonna have an entourage, and if they don't, I don't know, just play a game or something. Go on a walk. Why don't you two have a date?
Oh, I'd love to treat you to one.
See,
I suppose we could get food
yes, you
simply
can- you
as
can
friends
get
and coworkers.
food near us.
That's too
Somewhere
platonic.
down the road. Maybe
Dates.
share a drink. Maybe share a kiss.
I think that's a little forward.
Food
Food is platonic coworkers.
Food is
Fine.
platonic. Oh, everyone's platonic all of a sudden. Okay.
I'm
have
not
never-
platonic with you, but
Yes, because
I have always been strictly platonic with all of you.
that
Absolutely.
sounds so boring, and I respect that. As your friend places a hand on your shoulder, I respect your need for space, your desire for isolation, your closed off, sexy demeanor that when you gaze into my eyes, it looks as if you've seen 1,000 horrors. I love that about you. I think that's so beautiful. If you ever want to change one of those things, I will be waiting. I will be, the lovely slayer, slays of many things, hearts included. So
I don't think I need your services, but I appreciate the effort.
Oh, love, it's not just a service, it's an all-inclusive package.
Well, I'd like to not opt into that today.
That's okay. That's okay.
And like any good service agent, Assurance has subscribed you to the package anyway. Omkar.
I exist, yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to watch this all go.
I did not know when to cut it off. It's like I couldn't. It was like I couldn't stop.
Oh, just gotta keep looking at the. Well, anyway, yes, I'm Omkar.
Yeah.
What's up?
So Omkar, you would have arrived in town the night before, where you would be meeting Dev at his residence. Are you traveling with any kind of envoy guards, or are you traveling in any kind of style or more stealthily?
Omkar doesn't need guards. He's traveling alone.
Okay. So,
The stealthier, the better.
you arrive alone. Dev lets you into his home. He is even in his house, you see that he is wearing like parts of his armor. When he realizes it's you and he lets you in, he does not don all of it, because that's not the point. And if he's going to be you, or if you're going to be him rather. So he lets you in. Good evening, Omkar. Glad you could make
Good evening. No, it's my pleasure. And I imagine that we greet each other in the extremely mask way of shaking forearms.
The most stoic. I don't even think he was ready for that. I think he was like ready to just like bumblingly nod and like let you in, but he sees that there's like a handshake thing going on, and he like he tries his best. I've prepared some guest quarters for you. You are welcome to anything you need. Around the tower is yours. My armor. I'm going to stay here. I don't really leave without it on, and I don't want to be seen leaving town. So
That is wise.
I think you should just try on my breastplate and make sure that the major parts fit, and you should be just fine.
Certainly.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this whole affair? Seems that there's still some trepidation, if you don't mind me to be bold to say.
You can roll figure someone out.
Okay.
I want everyone to know that I remembered the move without having the PDF up. Not to flex.
Not to flex.
We love to
Not
see it
to
here.
flex.
Just double checking what my style, because that's heart, I believe. Yep, that's an 11.
Ooh, that's good. So he's going to lie, but when he lies to you, you know that he's lying to himself more than he's lying to you.
Who's lying to me? Okay.
Says, this is what a vampire does, no? It's just business, and, business is business. It's just, been a long while since I've been involved in such a scheme. I've been more of a research type, so it's a bit odd to have, all this attention on me.
Oh, you just served something up to me on a beautiful platter, and I'm going to take it. Umkar I imagine they're kind of like sat in front of a fireplace and they're having this conversation, discussing the logistics. And Umkar leans forward and he says, I can empathize with your position, my lord. It's unfortunate that these measures have to be taken and that you are once again pulled into the business, as it were.
Yes, Cecilia informed me that Assurance really is a career hunter, and I was quite taken aback by that. I still am. When I first took on my powers, whatever you want to refer to it as, what a vampire hunter was quite different. There was a lot of, pitchforks and torches. It's more like chess now, I guess, than checkers.
And you do not care for the game. Yes.
I have never cared for the game. I did what I did. I don't regret it. I've discovered many things that I'm very proud of. I've built this place. And he gestures around. He does live in a very nice place. Instead of like a mansion, he does live in more of like a wizard's tower kind of thing. The building from the outside is like very old, the architecture style you saw when you entered, but the inside is very meticulously curated. Even like his fireplace has like mosaic tile around it. It looks like it was like hand laid, maybe by him, maybe by someone else, but either way, the attention to detail is, very, very obvious. I built this place and I continue to live in it, or I plan to for as long as I can. But yes, I suppose the game has changed and I've never been interested in playing.
And Omkar places a hand on his own chest and says, "A man after my own heart, then."
Are you the same, then?
Certainly. I came into my own, and as you said, there's a blessing in that. There's a power undeniable. But these games, I'm uninterested. Yes, I'm here to figure out the threat against you, my lord, but know this. I'm not going to go beyond what you wish me to. I'm only here to ensure your protection and our upper hand.
I still am, how do you say, apprehensive about, turning this into a bloodbath. Not that I don't like some good blood sterling. I suppose I most definitely do. But, it would feel unwise, even with them being hunters. They're so prominent that their names are known in the other cities at this point. Perhaps we should take it slowly and not resort to mortal violence so quickly.
You have my word. I will only do what I deem is necessary, and I have no intention of going tomorrow to kill them.
I appreciate that, and I can't tell you whether or not they think the same for you, but I will assure that you are well armed and well prepared.
Do whatever preparations you would do if you were in my place tomorrow. If you take a certain number of guards, a certain selection, do so. If there is a special seat that you would take, if there is any care you would take towards this date, as if you were attending, do so. They should not know. There's that many different.
So you see him at one point kind of like stifling a laugh, like behind his sleeve, and he goes, "Guards." Guards. And it occurs to you in that moment that you haven't seen a single like servant or like grounds worker anywhere in here since you've arrived. No guards, not my style. But like I said, will suit you up appropriately.
Omkar also laughs because he did not come here with guards either. So Omkar is just like, something I bring up just in case.
Same hat. It's the same hat. Yeah.
And I think like Omkar and Dave are like chuckling about this because they're both very similar.
I think the funny part of this is that I had Dev before your group, I think, made characters, and then this just happened. So he says, All right. Let me show you to your quarters, and we'll just get you fitted in the armor so we don't have to do it tomorrow.
Understood. Lead the way.
Yeah. So yeah, he will lead the way in that. I believe that you'll find that the armor fits like similarly. As long as you can walk, in it convincingly, it shouldn't be a problem for you. You fill it out with a very similar, build. And then we come to a date. The inn, the Blooming Rose, is regarded as the nicest hotel or inn in Drancaster. Instead of having like a tavern on the bottom, it has both like a more fine restaurant as well as a lounge and performance venue that is sometimes utilized by the fancier folk in town or fancy folk coming through town. And the arrangements that Dev and the rest of the vampire party have made rent out this entire space just for you. So the only other people that will be present are the staff of the restaurant at the Blooming Rose. Who do you think arrives first?
My mic was twice muted. Easy. Assurance arrives first to scope out the place, checking all the exits, checking where all of the exits are, checking where like positions for long range combat are, checking like ventilation. Honestly, just checking the place to make sure that it looks as nice as people say it is. One, aesthetic, because Assurance can't go anywhere that's ugly, and two. I guess I don't know, combat things. Their partners seem to be very worried, so they might as well know things. And Dev's gonna be wearing like really, really heavy brass armor, so it's like this place better be well ventilated, or else we're gonna have to go somewhere else, and that's gonna be inconvenient for them.
It's so funny that I'm like, you guys are having dinner at the Ritz. And Assurance is like, let me just make sure that the aesthetic, is ready. I want you to make a roll. Make a study roll. Just to, you want to check out ventilation and more technical things. That's what you gotta do.
Oh, thank God I'm good at that. I already forget how to play the game yet again. Do I roll one dice or two? I'm gonna roll. How do I play this game?
So, how many dots do you have in study?
2.
So roll 2 dice.
Oh, sick. Am I adding?
Tell me what the highest one is.
6.
Okay, yeah. So, you arrive early to scope this out. This isn't like the first time the staff has seen something weird like this, but definitely more like specifically the way that you are inspecting certain things has the few like servers and like the chef that hasn't started working yet, like kind of just like eyeing you from their stations. This doesn't stop you from doing your job, and actually, like one of the servers is able to answer like a few questions for you regarding like fire exits and stuff like that. But it's well ventilated. It's one of those like things that is a room, but it like an outdoor room.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the floor is the ground of like the garden of the like the inn. But it's enclosed on all of the sides from the elements and over top as well. You find that they've set a table for you that's a little bit larger than you would need for 2 people, but it is set it's set very nicely with very fine linens. They were paid well, so everything does appear to be up to standard.
Wonderful. I think Assurance is like literally talking to folks, noticing that they're giving weird looks, and she's just like, I gotta know everything. Gotta make sure that everything looks good enough. It's like it's not like condescending, but it's very much like it's like, oh, you kind of know what you're because Assurance is like a bard, so they constantly are like working places, working gigs. Especially you said this place has like an open floor or like a music thing.
Yeah, so on the like it's kind of like connected. The inside part of this, and from which the inn builds upwards, is a lounge, and so that has like lots of like curved like couches, and there's a stage for performance, but no one is booked at this time, at least to your knowledge.
Perfect. I think
Yeah.
Assurance also kind of like checks that, just like making sure that it's got like good volume, and like looks at one of the workers and says, if I use this, do let me know. It's like hands them a card. It's like Assurance, the best bet that you can get. Stay assured. Um, the absolute worst. And then sits down comfortably with their nice like bag, nails painted.
Yeah, the employees, they take your business card. They make sure that the like throughway to the other room is open in case you do decide to utilize it, since you've expressed interest in it. And you have Omkar donning the armor and identity of the Brass Devil, arriving. How are you pulling up? What is your first move?
Just before that, before Omkar leaves the residence, he freshens up by washing his face because God, he's been in this armor for like a night already.
You need like one of the cat spray bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, and also you didn't have to stay in it all night. I think he just wanted to make sure that it fit you. So if any adjustments needed to be made, that they could be made. Yeah.
Okay. And as he's staring into the mirror after like washing his face by the bowl, staring his like honey gold eyes staring straight at the mirror. You are immortal. You are immortal. You can be so again. Easy. Just be that again. And he will center himself of what it was, how it felt like to be kinder. And where it dons the armor and marches. And I think there's no like pomp or circumstance because again, the Brass Devil and himself are very, very similar. So he's just leaning into that of just, we're very similar. I'm gonna march in there. They're probably gonna open the door for me. I'm going to just give them a curt nod. See that like the metallic clanking of marching into the Ritz, with metallic clanking, and it's just us and the workers.
And so
it just echoes and reverberates throughout the room.
As the Brass Devil arrives, I want to know what Sera and Henry are going to be doing as the date begins.
I assume we're not going to get dinner at the same place.
You literally can't. You
okay,
literally can't.
Perfect. I wonder if there's anywhere nearby.
Yeah, there are things nearby.
Do I be mean and ask what types of food do they have nearby? What's the culinary life here?
So this is like the nicest place in town. There are a few other taverns and inns within walking distance. There is a small market, kind of like a food hall, that you could go to if food was specifically the vibe. There's also, because I think that it's funny and campy, one of those places where you can paint pottery, and they fire it for you, around here. This is kind of like closer in town, so you're not close to the water or the bridge or anything like that. If you want me to start naming specific types of food, I can, but none of these like cultural groups actually exist in this world.
Fine.
I guess, yeah, if you want to get technical. I mean, I'm sure there's like, various types of pub fare. Nothing else that's too upscale. You might be able to get like a bistro kind of vibe. But not as fancy as the Blooming Rose is going to provide.
Yeah. Does the pottery place sound nice to you, Sarah? You're muted.
I'd be amenable to that, absolutely. I was thinking if if they're in there too long, the Bloomin' Rose is a theater. I can see about maybe saying that I work tech, getting us in through the back.
I do like that idea.
Yeah. And then, I'm actually pretty good with my hands, so if they need me to, shore up something, I can. And then that way we're in the general vicinity, but we're backstage.
Yeah. And if they need someone to move anything around, I can easily do that as well.
That's perfect. Alrighty. So we have a plan. We can go hang out a little bit, let them settle. Assurance is many things, but they don't jump the gun much.
No.
So yeah, we can take our time and then go in through the back, say we're here to help with some of the performances and if they're having any. Or at least working the stage.
I'd like to think there's no way they could mess this up this quickly, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a little bit of faith in them.
Absolutely. I have lots of faith. And I brought my special knife. And
I have an appropriate amount of faith.
Yeah. I flip around the knife and it's the garnet you said it was called, Max?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what I said.
I'm excited to see what it does. I've been studying it. I'm ready.
I think I have my classic Henry revolver. Don't leave home without it. Very Frank Reynolds and Sonny. Just always ready.
And I do have a big backpack with some of my trap making tools and one of the traps that I've already made in it.
I think I have like a knife and a revolver just in my casual wear. I think I'm trying to dress down a little bit just so it doesn't seem like I'm coming here to do a crime.
I had like a very funny image of you guys like pulling up to the pottery place, just like armed to the brim, like a knife like falls out of someone's sleeve.
It's for cutting clay.
I have like a jacket on. And I definitely have my holster.
I know that you're not that armed. It's just an image.
It's something that I would do though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That is what's wrong with her.
Okay.
All right.
So to Assurance and the Brass Devil. You hear the kind of metallic shifting of armor on the cobblestone before you see him. But sooner or later, a familiar armored figure has arrived.
Assurance, who's been at the table, probably sitting on the side that allows like the Brass Devil to sit walking in, so they can see the full picture as they walk in, pulls out like a little, not a napkin, whatever these things are, like, hi.
A kerchief? Is that what that would be?
Yeah, probably.
I guess.
Question mark?
Just like, I don't think Assurance wears glasses like me. This is a glasses rack for CJ, so it's like a handkerchief.
I assumed it was a handkerchief.
It's an embroidered handkerchief, with, I don't know, like flowers and probably like a really shitty version of like her fucked up mask.
Something.
Oh, so
the lady's favorite.
So you're wearing a mask?
No,
currently?
the mask is
okay.
The mask is in my bag. That's me telling you as well. It's like, no, you see Assurance has makeup on, kind of like, I'll say like purple eyeshadow, hair back in a braid, probably some flowers in their big horns because they're beast folk. I forgot they were that as well. Just absolutely wearing like maybe a polo probably a polo, some slacks, and heels, and nails painted, and all of the weapons conveniently in places that, like, can't be bothered with.
Very, very helpful and convenient. Omkar arrives as the Brass Devil, and as you greet him, he kind of like stands to the side of the table and gives a very, very, not like a super low bow, but like a very, very courteous one, as if we are going on it. We are going on a date, but like, very court-like, very, very formal. And he just says, "Forgive me if I've made you wait for so long."
No, I was here early, scoping out the place, making sure that all the ventilation is on the up and up here, so you're not too hot in all of that armor. And I also made sure that they have the stand. I don't know what music platform. The platform open in case I wanted to sing, or if you wanted to sing. Are you a songbird?
Not typically, no. But I appreciate the thoughtfulness that you put
course.
into this date. I hope that, and he like glances around, his eyes behind like the the slits of this metal helmet, over to all the workers. I trust that everything is to your delight. Yes.
Yes. I've been sipping on water. Had some nice bread here. Just ready.
We will get some. Yeah, Omkar pulls the chair, sits down, and says, "We will have far more delightful
Yeah,
of
I was.
appetizers,"
I
and
w-
will
I-
wave a hand to call the workers over.
Yes. So a waiter comes over to you. She says, "Good evening. My name is Diana. I'll be your primary server today. We also have on hand our sommelier, which is a very funny comparison for you, Val. Our sommelier, Marcus, and she motions, will be here managing your wine pairings and selections, as well as our primary chef, Isaiah, in the kitchen, and his sous chef, Grace."
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Tell them. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, please.
No, tell them that I'm excited to eat their wonderful food.
I'll be sure to relay the message. So we have these menus for you today. Of course, any alterations can be accommodated. And she hands you on like a very like hearty kind of cardstock, like but it's been like hand pressed. Like these are like their fancy event menus. It's like like the handmade paper kind of vibe that you get in those like fancy journals. So yeah, she hands it to you. There are a few options for like a first, second, third course and dessert. The first course being like a small kind of like introductory thing to like warm up the palate. So with our first course, we do recommend a lighter white wine pairing. We have a few bottles on hand. Most of them are made locally. Your entire service today has actually been covered very kindly, so that just explains why there's no pricing or anything like that.
Def, you sly brass devil.
Well, I am taking you out to this, especially after the last minute adjustments to the venue.
Yes.
I could not have you foot any of the bill.
That is so sweet of you. I was excited to taste your cooking. You see how, old dogs get new tricks, but this is a welcome change.
I assure you, I'm not that old. And there's like a very, very noticeable smirk behind in from the voice that he's speaking. I'm gonna double check with Max really quick because I'm sure Omkar and Dev would have talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Omkar would have probably asked if Dev was actually intending to remove their like his helmet at any point.
Who is to say? There's like a thing like you can eat and drink, like it can come up.
Okay.
Without removing it. I get this
Okay,
is
so like a
over
cellar. Okay.
over the table, because this would be unbeknownst to anyone, really. Chalice knows what the brass devil looks like, but because of the in-head thing that was done. But Chalice, I suppose, like, Alyssa is sick. So you wouldn't be at risk, and even if you were, he wouldn't know that there would be any risk. So it would be safe enough to remove the helmet if you would like. Nobody here would technically know the difference. But also, if you want to leave it on and kind of just bring up like this like bottom visor, you are welcome to do that as well.
Listen, that's hot. Like, other than the safety thing, like the hotness of having a tiny peak but not the full one is very compelling.
So right.
And I think as like the appetizers are being brought in, or the drinks by the sommelier as they're opening the cork out of the wine bottle.
Yeah. They bring the wine bottle, and I'm very familiar with this. They do this thing.
Yeah.
And they they uncork it, they pour a little bit into one glass, and they give it to you to do a tasting before both of the glasses are fully poured.
Oh, light, fruity. I love this one. White wine is personal favorite.
It's to your liking. Wonderful. And she pours both of the glasses. A food runner brings out your first course. It's like a shared appetizer thing. It looks to be this might actually be unfamiliar to you, Assurance. Omkar, I think you would know. These are shrimp. This is like a shrimp cooked in like a lime sauce. It's all like equally kind of light opening.
Oh my, what's this? Looks at like the brass devil.
Omkar, I imagine there's a hinge and a latch for what I'm imagining is almost like a Sally helmet, and removes the metallic paneling to reveal the lower half of his face, which all you would see is a very defined like chin and jawline, and stubble on deep brown skin.
Yeah. I think
and the brass devil / Omkar smiles, and you see it for the first time. That smile, the hint of vampire fang, and he'll say, "That is shrimp. It is a underwater." I'm trying to think of the proper term. Is it?
Yeah, no one ever asked you to describe shrimp
is it a
before.
crustacean?
It's an underwater creature. I mean, is that a term we will use now? It is a type of shellfish. I will say shellfish then. It is a type of shellfish. It is delicious. This seems to be cooked in, and I think like Omkar for the first time is like having real food in a very, very long time. So he's like taking it all in, really, like the sense, and it's just like a light lime, it seems like.
Assurance like goes for like some shrimp and then hits the table because they're staring at your like smile. You are breathtaking, Dev.
Omkar chuckles and looks upon you and says, "You are incredibly kind and charismatic, and I must say that you look beautiful."
Thank you. And then they actually stab the thing, taste it a little bit. This is great. This is acidic, beautiful. Just reminds me, of nothing I've ever really had.
And it's to your liking, then. Good.
It is. You know, my partners were worried about me coming on the States. They said, "You
Why,
can't go on
pray
a
tell?"
date." Well, I mean, you're a good-looking vampire, and I am a tasty, succulent, beautiful, effervescent, wonderful, not vampire.
Omkar like nods and says, "You say that almost like it's a bad thing."
Well, I do not. How do I say this? I am not one that often wonders what the experience of vampirism is like.
And your partners, they don't take kindly to the experience of vampirism, as you said.
No, no, no. Not at all. Not at all. It's
And
hard living this life, you know.
what do you think?
What do I think of this life, of living as almost second-class citizens at some points? It can be hard, but there are things to enjoy. I find myself living a life that I can enjoy. The little things, if you will. And they kind of say that and just like for a moment, just kind of not disassociates, but you can tell they're thinking of something else. And then comes back. I find joy in the things that I can.
I think Omkar is listening very, very intently, and I think through the slits of the helmet you see that glint of honey gold behind. And you hear Omkar say, I suppose that there are many of my kin that laud their power, privilege, strength over mortals.
Oh, yes, many, plenty. I do my best to not deal with those.
It is wise for you to not.
Yes.
And you see him smile, and he says, "In my, I suppose to put it kindly, hermitage, it is very easy to forget the wider implications of my kin. And and when you say like that you want to feel joy, to not like feel like this, to have like a more certain future, more stable like future, right? That's like the implication of a lot of what's being unsaid. Thank you, CJ, for giving me this gift. Omkar pulls out a little pack of something in like a drawstring pouch that sat on his side. And he says to Assurance, I don't suppose you have experience with prophetic tools. And he opens the draw pouch and removes a pack of circular deck of cards.
I do not. One moment, people are yelling for me. Please, I can hear you.
No
I
worries.
will take this as an opportunity to check in on Henry and Sera. At this point, are we still having a date? Not a platonic date as friends and coworkers? Or is something else happening? I would say Assurance has been at the venue for a while, but it's only been maybe 30 minutes since Dev has actually arrived.
I think Sera has found a like a clay fish and has been painting it very diligently.
What colors are your clay fish?
Oh, we're going with like the koi speckled sort of pattern thing.
Correct answer.
Because I like a good orange. I made there was a long time ago, but I did make a ceramic goldfish once. That was a lot of fun. I don't know if I have it here.
Laying it down now. This is a koi household. We love koi.
Yeah.
We love all forms of carp. We love betta
neat.
fish. End of story. Okay.
Yeah.
Henry, what are you working on?
Oh, you're muted.
I think I'm working on probably painting one that's a bunch of flowers and grass, kind of like the flowers that we got last session.
Yay.
I don't think she's good at like painting, on them or anything, but I think there's a lot of she's trying.
Hmm. I, I like the detail work you did.
Thank you. It's the best I can do. I was never much of an art kid.
Oh,
Never really
that's
had a
nonsense.
I
Everybody's
never
an
really
art
had time
kid.
for it. It
Hmm.
farming and then, soldiering, not a whole lot of
Well,
else. Now, I could definitely put artistry into like some good farming, but that's
hmm.
that's more of a practical skill.
Well, I think just participating is what's important. And I mean that in the sense of like art and everything. If you participate incorrectly in farming, you starve.
You are right.
Yeah.
Uh, so outside of I guess the plans,
Hmm.
what is your end goal with everything?
Oh, it's a small thing, but I'd like to be able to teach other people my original craft. Um, and I mean, granted, things are still a little. I mean, it's been years, but there hasn't really been another toy shop built, and that's since the last one was taken out by the vampires. But I'd like to build my own, take some apprentices, and you know, start my craft again. It's not that I don't get some level of enjoyment getting some righteous vengeance, but I miss when my hands were making things that made people smile rather than make vampires perish.
Hmm. I think Henry just sort of nods sagely at a lot of that. Yeah, I hope you get that sort of peace that you're hoping for.
Yeah, this is always temporary. I intend to survive this and live a nice, quiet life somewhere with people that care about me.
That sounds wonderful.
Thank you. What about you?
I think you get a long sigh. Um, I don't know. I'll probably keep doing this till
Hmm.
just keep riding this wagon till the wheels come off, I suppose. I don't really have much else planned.
Huh.
I got, I got enough fire to keep me going for a while, and there's a lot of vampires to get rid of, so seems like a
Yeah,
pretty solid
that's
life plan.
right. But do you ever wonder what it'll look like if we win?
I don't, I'm not saying I don't think we'll win, but I don't know how much work that just the four of us can do.
I guess you're right. The hope is we inspire other people, take up the cause, but I
Yeah.
definitely don't want you being a martyr.
Martyrs, I don't plan on being a martyr. Martyrs are people who inspire others. I plan on going down fighting somewhere. I don't need to inspire anybody. I just need to fight till
Hmm.
I can't fight anymore.
Oh, Henry, you inspire me.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It, it is a compliment. How long has it been since you've had one that wasn't from assurance?
I think that a real genuine silence. Not sure. I don't know. I'm not really the compliment type. It's mostly more about practical ability. I don't need flowery words all that much. Words can only, I mean, words are only as honest as the actions behind them.
All right. Next time I go into battle waving a knife around, I will have the same grace in which you hurt other people. That way my actions can match my words.
That I do appreciate.
Oh, look at that. You just took two compliments.
Do you I'm be honest, I'm not that great in peaceful settings like this.
Hmm.
I'm really hoping they hurry up and cause a fight soon.
We
I'm
can
getting
head out.
restless.
Yeah, we can head over. We can set these to fire, and if the night goes well, we can pick them up right after. If not, we'll try to swing by in the morning.
Perfect.
Um, there is one thing though, and I hope it comes to you because a lot of my inspiration for what I wanted came from Enoch. But I hope you find something that's worth peace. Doesn't have to be right away. It's just important to have something to live for after.
Kind of nods and kind of holds that in her chest for a little bit. Doesn't really say too much after.
And you
All right,
two,
let's go do some violence.
My
and
favorite part of the day.
you two are heading over to the Blooming Rose. How are you stationing yourselves?
I mean, they do have a backstage entrance. I'm fairly sure, hoping. So
They would have they would have like a service entrance for performers. Whether or not it is open or manned right now is a different story.
I guess we can go check.
You go check. The back door is there. You can see there's like like one of those like little door windows. In it, there's no one here right now. The door is locked, but it's not by any like big security lock. It's just like the equivalent of like a lock that you'd have on the front door of your house.
I think Chalice is usually better with finesse. I'll take out a hammer. I'm gonna try to wreck the lock.
I was gonna say you could also go to the hotel entrance to the front desk if you want to be proper, or you can break the lock.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to wreck it.
All right, roll wreck.
Yeah, I got a 4.
I'd say that's good enough. It's not it's not like a very complex lock or anything. You kind of go on like the little circular part where the lock is before the door handle, and you bust it, and it like becomes loose enough that you can just like finagle it, and the door comes open with a light creak. It reveals a sort of like service walkway. There are a few doorways all the way at the end of the hall. There's a doorway that would open up into that common area, like the front of the lounge. Then there's a door that leads to the wings, to the backstage area, and there is a like a green room or a staging room for performers that are here. There's also like a closet that has like various like house equipment in it, but it's like pretty small.
This might be reaching. Is there a uniform closet? I'm seeing CJ make a face like I'm being very extra, and it's not a fun date comedy if your friends don't come in dressed as the waitstaff.
I would say probably, I think it is reaching. I'd say probably no uniform closet. Is not Disney.
Okay, that's fine.
You might be able to find some spare garments in the green room area. I would give you that. But I don't know if you would just be able to find a uniform.
That's okay. We don't need it. I look over to Henry. Do we want to just post up in the wings and wait and see if any loud noises happen?
That sounds perfect.
All right. How about this? I'll say lemons if it's time to put on the mask and get to work. Because that probably means things are going real bad.
Interesting call sign, but it works for me.
Perfect.
I'm really obligated to say it. Every villain is lemons, otherwise known
Yeah.
as evil.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys are posted up backstage. Because there's like no one here right now, I'm not gonna make you roll any kind of stealth or anything like that just yet, as long as you guys are just like kind of like observing and poking around quietly.
A minor question.
Hmm.
Is this a place where I could smoke a cigarette and that not be alarming? If not, I will not smoke a cigarette.
I would say it wouldn't be alarming in like a general sense. However, because there's no one here, if someone smells a cigarette, they might go looking for where it's coming
All right,
from or
fine.
want to also smoke one.
I think Henry's chewing tobacco then.
That's
I
fine.
think she keeps both.
Listen, this is what you meant by staying strapped.
She had a gun, a knife, and 2 types of cigarettes.
Out. Oh God, Stella Luna is on our stream. I have a heart attack. Out on the patio again. We have Assurance and the Brass Devil. I don't know what to call Omkar during this episode. The not Brass Devil. The Golden Devil.
The brass
false
devil.
devil.
The Brass Devil. Yeah, so we have you two coming on to your second course. You will be asked if you would prefer an intermezzo between courses to cleanse the palate.
Sure, indulging on a date.
They're gonna bring you like a little shooter of liquid. It is it's like maybe like a light cream taste, but nothing too strong because the idea is to cleanse the palate, to get you ready for the next course. And your server comes back over. Your plates have been cleared. And how is everything going so far?
Perfect. I think I was about to be told the future.
Oh,
Looking at the breast devil.
I'm sorry. Am I interrupting? Would you like me to provide another table for your craft?
No, it's just fine. This table will do just fine. But thank you. And like out of the drawstring pouch, Omkar pulls out a deck of circular cards. And he actually, he places the cards down, and the top part of the gauntlets he unclips so that you can see his hands. They're rough. They look worn and calloused, and once again, deep brown skin. And picks up the deck of cards and begins shuffling. And as he does so, he asks, I must say, I am surprised that knowing how you feel about my kin, and yet you still pursued me, and how your partners feel about this rendezvous, I suppose. Why?
Oh.
Why pursue me?
Well, you were the most interesting one I've seen yet. Well, saddest, if I do say so. A combination of both.
Oh.
Yes, well, I take pleasure in all things. I am a being of pleasure, as I like to say. I've got my wonderful partners that love me for all of my oddities. One potentially on the way. A job that pays the bills. And what's the word I'm looking for? Blood pumping, visceral battles in spare time. I have everything that I want. I seek joy in all things. I sing, I dance, I fuck on the first date, even kill. But there hasn't really been anything in the world that's given me more pleasure than, well, I'm sure you already know. There is a look that is radiant in the eyes of those that are surprised that something they should be subjugating bites back. But you, I am blessed with the ability to peer into the souls of folk and when I look into your soul, I saw, well, I had something that changed my tune a little bit. Made me wonder what the story is behind all of those that are, well, to a degree, power mad opposition.
I'm going to ask the group something, the hunter group something, for my own reference, and I need you guys to answer as honestly as possible. Do you think that Chalice shared what was seen inside the Breast Devil's brain at the auction with the rest of you? Or would Chalice have kept it to himself?
Wasn't I the one that saw that?
I thought that it was Chalice's move. Was it your move?
It was mine.
Because
Yeah, it was the
Assurance.
Assurance.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah,
why.
Yeah, because of the heart pierce move.
I don't
It's
know.
a shit.
I don't know
It's
why the whole
why
time I
I
thought
asked
that
them
was
on a date.
Chalice's room.
No, Chalice had the
No.
chain
Move.
adventure.
I
I,
also
Yeah.
had the chain adventure.
I
The
think I'm
chain
just
that is now in one of my traps.
I think I'm just associating Chalice as the magical one. Okay, so you.
You're so valid.
Okay, so then you don't need meta to know what you know about
Correct.
his bed. Carry on.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Omkar smiles about that, and says, "Well, you're right about one thing. There's a lot more that comes across my kin than power-hungry, bloodthirsty. All facets are true, but not all are the same. Not in our origin, and not when we come to power."
Indeed. When I looked at you, I saw someone that just lost. I saw someone that was confused, and that is something that I can relate to, so I pursued. And, well, I have no questions of my own abilities if you so chose a different path than peace on the state. So I'm happy that we're having this.
And this is our meat and cheese course. Diana.
Yeah,
And
assured. Yeah.
yeah, and she brings over like the most beautiful charcuterie board of like the cheeses are like some of them are like cut in shapes. They have like some of like the cold cuts that are like kind of like manipulated into the flowers. There's some honeycomb on there. Fresh honeycomb is like a delicacy around here, something that people strive to get. And be like, and we'll be serving this with some of our West Continent style sangria. And there is a carafe of like a fruit-filled sangria that she pours into like stemless glasses for you.
Yes, please. And Assurance just dives on in after bearing the most horrifying monologue ever. It's just like, this is wonderful.
Yeah, Omkar, there's like a moment where Omkar has to like recenter because, wow, the Brass Devil and him have way too much in common. It is what he is finding out. And he's just like, I hate that was also relevant to me, and now I have to like keep cool. And as he continues to shuffle, I think you notice that Omkar has been every meal he has to like take it piecemeal. So even like the charcuterie board, the meats and the cheeses, he takes like small bites out of and like really paces himself. And even the drinks slowly paces himself.
Yeah, I think you see Assurance doing something similar, just kind of like sipping one, putting it down, sipping the other, really just indulging in everything that's going on.
And since you brought up that monologue, Dave, aka Okar, as he's shuffling these cards, I'm looking over to my GM Max. I would love to use my Oracle move.
I'm so ready. Shout out to playing two systems at the same time.
Let's go.
We are fast and loose here on Take Your Roll.
Yep. I would like to use my Soothsayer move to turn to my prophetic tools to read someone's future.
Yes. My question is, would you like to use your cards or mine?
I would love to use your cards. You have cool cards.
I do. I have I have quick promo, even though this project has been over for like 2+ years already. I have the fan-made Fire Emblem Three Houses tarot deck. It's gorgeous.
I love that. I love that
Even the
so
packaging
much.
is gorgeous. There are flowers on the inside of the box.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
I love it.
I keep these on my desk waiting for a reason to use the. Literally for years, they've sat on my desk waiting for a reason for
How's
me
your
to
time?
use them. Okay, so that being said, how many cards are you drawing for assurance? I will tell you what cards I draw. You can interpret them.
Okay, hold on. I'm just looking at my move really quick. I have to make a roll, I believe. So I have to roll with spirit. On a hit, the MC will tell you something new and interesting about their destiny. On a 10+, you can ask a follow-up question.
Okay,
yeah.
why don't? Okay, so on a hit, I'll give you a card, and on a 10+, I'll give you a card and an additional information you can ask me.
Okay, sounds good. That sounds fun. And as the brass devil is doing this, Umkar briefly says like these, and they're like old cards, so you could tell that they're well loved and worn. And he like goes into a tiny history lesson where he says these started out as playing cards, but it turns out the meaning of each cards can be so reflective of perhaps reflection, perhaps of the future, prophecy. And there's a glint in his eyes as he says that. And as he's like shuffling, he will also throw out there, it's been a while since I've shuffled. My peers don't usually give me the space to practice this craft.
Oh, it's so disheartening. Please.
In fact, I will be meeting them soon. And now I will roll.
All right.
Woo! Let's go. That does hopefully not. Yeah, I have a -1 in spirit. Of course I do. But it's fine because that's an 11 because I rolled 2 6s, so it's an 11.
Okay. All right. I'm drawing from the top of the deck.
Woohoo!
This is. Oh, this is strength.
Strength.
Yeah, just strength.
Very interesting.
Strength. And that was upright as well when I drew it. So that you can interpret at will. Then for your oracle move mechanically, what would you like to ask me?
So I do get to a glimmer of their hold on, let me read this. Tell me something new and interesting about their destiny. On a 10+, I may ask a follow-up question. So I guess you need to tell me something new and interesting about their destiny. And then I can ask a follow-up question.
All right, so new and interesting about Assurance's destiny is that I think it's very clear to you, just as someone who has lived for a long time, that Assurance, you can correct me if I'm wrong, CJ, is the kind of person that pretends to care a lot less than they do. There's a very clear investment in the people that they care about here. In their partners and etc. And because of that like level of care, their destiny kind of foresees being entrusted with a larger task that will require that same pureness of heart, but also attention to detail.
Ooh. I think the way Omkar will interpret this, pulling out the strength, he smiles. Strength. I really love this card, actually. Because most people misinterpret it. Most people think that they almost interpret the strength like they interpret the chariot. Forward movement, surging forward, great strength. But look at the artwork. And it's the artwork of a person gently holding the mouth of a lion. It's not an assertive power. It's gentle. It's soft. It's loving. It's compassionate. It's kind. It's subtle. And I think this says that you care quite deeply about the people and things you care about. You're not you're not a wrecker. You're not a being of wrath. You are gentle. As he smiles. My follow-up question, since on a hit. Oh, that is very, very interesting. My follow-up question is assurances sort of like this kind of like compassion, this gentility that they seem to be exuding in this particular instance. Is that extended to the brass devil? Like, is this like relationship something that could be given to the brass devil? Well, I suppose myself as a brass devil.
I again will confirm with CJ. When Assurance asked out Dev, it was out of some form of genuine interest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that, I think it definitely shows that the folks at the Countess's birthday party, the rumors that have spread may have just been sorely mistaken. Sometimes work and love don't mix, and it just happened here in a very unfortunate way. And there is a genuine interest there, and I don't think you've done anything that would tick off that you're not the same person yet.
Okay.
Because you didn't take the helmet fully off. And so that genuine interest is extended to you, and not knowing that you're different people. If it was known that you're a different person, I couldn't tell you what the reaction would be.
Okay.
But that's what I give you now.
Yeah, so but like that's what I was after, is that what I'm doing so far means that the compassion is still extending. That's still there. Okay. Then I think the accurate tarot card for that might be, I think that might be the Two of Cups.
That's a good
He pulls out the Two of Cups, and you see two people holding cups towards each other. And he also smiles. He says, "This is also a very, very lovely, lovely card. It's a beginning of some new relationship. Tends to be positive. It is a mutual agreement. Both parties looking upon one another in equal respect and measure."
Wow, how opportune, Dev. I wonder, is that for us?
Is that something you desire?
Of course. Why would I go out on a date if I didn't desire something in the future?
Forgive me. My kin have been playing games for so long that I question genuinity whenever it showcases itself.
Ah, that makes, well, given the everything of the state of the world, that would make sense. I'm sure you already, I'm sure many of people have told you what my job is. You have a whole society, we have ours. No, my aim here, Dev, is not to mix work and pleasure. Which, definitely, I could probably see why someone would think that. But I'm glad you came out.
Well, with the invitation that you extended me, how could I not?
Well, very easily. Or you could just not have come.
I suppose. And he smiles and he says, "Yes, I understand that, your feelings toward my kin. But know that not every vampire is the same. And know that even I share a distaste for the game, as it were."
Wonderful. Not all vampires, indeed.
And
In fact,
go
ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna cut us, so you go ahead.
Yeah, no. I think Omkar would just have one last thing that he will say, and that is, I will be meeting my comrades soon, kin. And they're quite the intriguing type. You might have heard of them, perhaps. Solace Armani. And I'm trying to not make the etc. joke.
No, make the etc. joke, please. I even made stickers.
So Omkar will say Solace Armani and Lady Luck, Lady Lydia Luck, and etc. will be.
CJ, these are
soon.
both names that Assurance would know. Lady Luck, you recognize that's the name of like of a gambling den. It's in a town on the other side of like the river. I don't know if you've been, but it'd be like, you know, think of a famous casino. It'd be like Caesars, you know, whatever. From the East Coast.
Caesar's named Caesars. Like,
I was just at Caesars, and that's why it came to my head. But it really wasn't that good, and I really wouldn't recommend it. It's all under construction right now. I went with my grandparents. I digress.
Max, I love you. Never change.
But Solace Armani, you would recognize with even more depth, is kind of famous. Is a bardic type like you, a performer, quite an amazing singer. They have performed here, there. Every town you've ever lived in, they've had at least one performance. They're very well known, though they mostly keep the company of other vampires very strictly. You have stood outside a venue once or twice and heard the clarion of their voice.
Wow. You roll with the big dogs.
Not always out of choice.
Well, you want to tell me about that. I have to go to the bathroom.
All right. Yeah. All right. And with that, we'll do that bathroom break after our bathroom break. We're going to take a break. We will be back in a few minutes. I love this episode. I'm very proud of what's happening right now. You guys are doing great. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. We'll get to courses 3 and 4 of the date, and we will check in on Henry and Sera backstage. See you guys soon.
Bye.
You can do it, Twitch. Don't be shy. Hello. We are back from break. If you are just joining us, we are on. We're having a little bit of a special episode, a little double date episode, while Sera and Henry are sneaking around spying. We have Omkar masquerading as the Brass Devil on a date with Assurance. And I believe, as we have now taken our break, Assurance is now taking a break. Whether it be real or not, we do not know, but you have gone off to find the bathroom.
Yes, sorry, I needed water myself. Yes, Assurance is actually going to go to the bathroom. Probably not as badly as they're curious if their partner and other are around.
Not. We have etc., and now we have other.
Other. So their partner and their other.
Yeah, I would say, as you guys are sitting, the two of you probably hear someone walking around, kind of like into the lounge. And as Assurance isn't trying to hide herself, you could easily enough spot Assurance looking for a bathroom.
Opens up a door, wrong. Opens up another door, not correct. Where is the... Oh, there's a sign. And just goes to the bath, like literally just walks to the bathroom. And uses the bathroom. And I don't know, in 1 to 5 minutes comes out. Who cares what happens in the bathroom? Mind your business.
I was gonna say, did you want to like talk to us or like run into us on the way back?
Go ahead. Assurance isn't look. Oh, I guess Assurance is like kind of looking around. Looks once, looks twice, shrugs. It's not a hard, effortful look. It's really like if they're here, they're here. If they're not, I'm gonna keep enjoying my date.
Yeah, you hear a little pss from like the curtains.
Oh, there you are. Walks over daintily. Hi, how are you? Mwah, gives you a kiss.
Oh, thank you. How is it going?
Very good. We're talking about, future and like fate and like I don't know, sad things that like kind of seem sad but aren't.
Oh.
Well,
no,
they're definitely sad. Yeah,
Anything
I told
useful?
them. What's that?
Anything useful?
Like what?
Anything that we could capitalize on potentially? Or are you just falling in love right now?
Well, falling in love is a process, and I think we could get there. But
right.
Am I having a good date? Yes, I am, Henry. Thank you for asking.
I was not concerned with that.
Did you get any information?
Like what? What information do you want?
Oh, like where a lot of vampires hang out, or
I mean,
where they are, where their like backs and necks are exposed to like bladed weapons.
Anything useful?
Can the one of the two of you roll either survey or study on this?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's more of a your specialty.
That's why I'm leaving it up to y'all.
All right, I have 1 in survey.
One.
So
the study
that's 1 dice,
baby.
Yeah, so that's gonna be. I got to roll to 5.
Yeah. So Assurance. Assurance is your partner. You guys live together. You've worked together for a long time. Assurance has not figured out any of this important logistical stuff at all. No matter what comes out of their mouth in the next minute, that is the truth.
No. Assurance is good at 2 things: learning things and killing. That's it.
All right, so different line of questioning. Are we gonna the Brass Devil? Or are we gonna?
No, because
what's a good euphemism for like
choking?
Unalive.
Yeah.
You could just say, no. I personally don't have any intentions currently to kill them. If you, no. Because I wouldn't like that. Yeah, no. So you two can keep having your date. Probably won't have sex, so like I'll come home soon. They seem like the reserved type.
Once again, I don't need to hear that part of the sentence. You can just
Again,
say
I'm
you'll
just
be home
giving you
tonight.
asked for useful information.
This is not
that's
useful.
to know when I'm
Assurance?
coming home to the arms of my lovely, lovely partner.
Assurance?
Yes.
Darling?
Yes.
If you don't want to sleep on the couch, I can't speak for Chalice. If you don't want to sleep on the couch, at least according to my specifications, I expect you to have something workable from this date besides the size of the brass devil's brass parts.
What
Ugh.
did you?
Polyamory is a competition now. If you have a bad date, we make you sleep on the couch.
I told you all what this was going to be. I don't know why you expected anything else.
I just
I
expected something useful. Just
I
one
thought we were
useful
gonna.
thing.
I brought the fancy knife. I thought we were gonna
Oh
kill
my
the
god.
vampire.
If you two want to go have a fun little murder date, you can. I, as you all know, take my pleasures with my pleasures and my murder with my murder. If I was going to kill the brass devil, I would put my goddamn mask on and go absolutely insane. So I don't know what you two want from me. I look pretty. I'm having fun. I'm eating something called
Well,
shrimp.
I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful.
Have you ever had
date.
shrimp, Henry?
No, I have not.
Well, maybe you should try it and smile a little bit more because your sad demeanor is wrecking my mood.
You know,
I
I didn't
frown
mean it
more on
about the
purpose.
couch. I didn't mean about the couch, but still, I thought we were gonna at least does the brass devil have shitty friends or acquaintances?
Yes, they do.
Oh,
We're
okay, then,
talking about them
find out.
now.
Find
That's
out
I've
useful.
their
already
names.
learned about them. They're friends with, and CJ doesn't remember their names.
Solace Armani, and Lady Luck.
Solace Armani and Lady Luck. That's
Okay.
That's something.
that's boring.
I will note. I'd say both of the names ring some kind of familiarity to both of you, but just as Solace was more more familiar to Assurance, I think Lady Luck is probably more familiar to Henry. You know a number of people who have gone broke in Lady Luck's casino. You know just as many people who have made enough money to stop being a soldier in Lady Luck's casino.
Okay.
Does that
All right.
satisfy you? Does the boring information make this all worth it for you? Do I
The
get
boring
to sleep?
information is the information that I prefer to know.
It's actually
I don't-
deeply interesting.
Do I get to sleep on the bed that I purchased with my blood money?
I wasn't actually gonna kick you to the couch. I was just a
Oh.
little disappointed that you weren't focusing up like I thought you were going to.
Oh, I really like that you were
Well,
being
as long as you
assertive, but
tell
okay.
me what's the boring stuff to you, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll ask all of the boring stuff and bring
It's
it to
the
you on a
bare
silver
minimum.
platter.
It's a
Bare
It's the
minimum.
least
I think you
can
need
do
to
for
raise
me.
your standards.
Wouldn't that apply to you?
My standards are sky high, my dear.
So if Henry has higher standards of you,
Who's standardizing? Hmm?
you brought this into the question.
on
I
your
don't.
date.
I am
Get
going
back
to
on your
go
date.
back to my date. Beautifully, just kind of touches the hair, breathes a little bit. I am going to go. If you two need me, do not until I get home. Wah, 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 wah. Go have fun or something. I don't know.
Now, when you are on any kind of excursion where it's just you and another person, date or not, I think it definitely is a little bit awkward when you have to sit at the table by yourself when the other person goes to the bathroom. So, is there anything that Omkar is doing while Assurance has stepped away?
Omkar is such a he carries himself like a Doberman. That's the real vibes that he carries on. So now that Doberman doesn't have job to do like other working dogs, he's just kind of looking around, leaning back, stretching his shoulders, and I think there's some meats in the charcuterie still left. So he continues nibbling on it, but his vampiric diet makes it hard to chomp a full amount at a time.
I'd say thinly cut meat probably easier to eat than a lot of other things that will be presented to you. It definitely is strange. You can eat, but obviously Omkar doesn't. So it's definitely a little weird. You can spot the the server Diana is watching from afar to make sure that she isn't like called upon for anything.
Omkar remembers what it was like to be mortal, unlike the rest of his kin, and therefore will not be troubling the service staff.
And if you learn anything from my stream today, don't bother the service staff.
Don't bother the service staff. No, Omkar, I think like after trying to cheat, he's like there's moments and glimpses where he seems like really excited to try something on the charcuterie, like maybe like a grape or something that he hasn't had for years.
I would say the surface tension of like a grape being popped by a vampire fang is something that I mourn, like that I'll never be able to do as a human being. So yeah, great for Vampire Fang for sure.
Great for Vampire Fang. He likes it for like 2 minutes, but then realizes, oh, it doesn't fill me up. I'm still kind of hungry. Back to the meat.
Yeah, your hunger will not be satiated by any of this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just waiting. Working dog anxiety.
Yeah. Assurance, you come back to just like Omkar and like a piece of prosciutto, like.
Yeah. Just, are you enjoying the food?
Yes. I hope you found the services of the bathroom
I
appropriate.
did. I found all my things in order, far too in order, actually, but I digress.
Omkar nods, realizes how awkwardly he worded that, and like clears his throat and sits up a little bit more. And he says, "I can ask the wait staff to bring on the next course if you're ready with the. You're satisfied with the charcuterie."
Oh, it has been good. Grabs a grape, pops it into his mouth. Yes, great. A good red. And kind of just looks at you. Yeah, go ahead.
And yeah. So they come over to like clear the plates. Would you like the meat, the fish, or the vegetarian option?
Wow, this sucks for Omkar, huh? Omkar will ask for fish.
Okay.
Oh, take the vegetarian.
I'll be imposing my tastes onto this dinner right now. Brought to you each with a unique wine pairing for both dishes. Omkar is served a red snapper over couscous. It has basil and strawberry, among some other seasonings with a light spice. Assurance, you are served an eggplant dish. It's kind of like cut into thin slices and layered. Like almost like a lasagna, like in shape, like a stack, like an eggplant kind of stack thing. It's served with some asparagus as well as some nice steaming hot rice.
This looks wonderful. Let's dig in. And
Certainly.
Proceeds to eat like half of it before doing what any persuasive person does, and just actually kind of notices, and it's like, is it to your liking?
As you say that, you see that they're like Omkar's like studying the meal, kind of like a person who's like usually a picky eater, trying to like figure out the textures to see which is going to be the most pleasant to start off with, and settles on the strawberry. And I think from behind the Sele helmet, the slits, you see a twinkle, like a childlike twinkle in his eye, as he picks up the strawberry and takes the tiniest bite out of it. And as you ask him this, he quickly swallows. He's like, "No, I do enjoy the meal. It's just been a very long time since I've had mortal cuisine." It takes a moment to get used to again.
Ah, that makes sense. Well, what do you normally eat?
Omkar chuckles. Well, as you know, uh, vampires usually dine on blood.
Ah. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to hear you say it.
I'm not GMing anymore. I'm not even here. I'm not even here.
Good to hear.
Just in case you want that real information, you know? What do vampires
Just pretend
eat?
like I'm not here.
No,
Hey,
literally.
Gia, what
Oh,
do
hello,
vampires
Raiders.
eat?
Oh, wait, we got a raid. Hello. Don't mind
Hi,
me. I was
Raiders.
just pretending like I
Raiders.
don't exist.
Hello.
Yes, I know. But it helps with the transition, you know.
What sort of transition?
I'm curious, what is the difference, the satiety between mortal food and blood? Is it like a light food versus a heavy one, or just a whole different texture now?
May I step in on this for a moment? 'Cause the way that I envision the consumption of food as a vampire in this world is, I don't know if anyone has ever like had any like bad eating habit moments where like you're hungry but you don't know what you want, so you try to eat a bunch of stuff but nothing like makes the craving go away.
Me most days, yes.
Yeah, you could eat as every mortal food in the world and you would still feel like you didn't know what you should eat to satiate it, because the only answer is blood.
Yeah, I think the way Omkar would describe it is, I don't know if it's necessarily like that. It's like the strawberry, and he like holds it up. It's one of the main fruits of my home, which no longer exists. And as he like looks at it, and I remember loving strawberries, but I don't crave it. I'm hungry, a deep-seated hunger that stays within my very bones, and I can eat anything, everything in this restaurant, and it wouldn't go anywhere. I can taste this food, but it's moments, seconds before it's unbearable to eat.
There's a sad look on Assurance's face as he gets up from his spot at the table and walks over to the brass devil. That is
Yeah?
so unfortunate. And takes a seat like on the table in front of them.
Oh my god.
Uh,
The entire staff is watching this.
God.
and like not grabs, but like guides their hand with the strawberry in it close to their mouth. And well, you should leave that to those that can be satisfied. And then like takes a bite of the strawberry.
I'm about to put us offline.
Oh man, this gay panic all the way down on my end.
Yeah, the entire staff is, I think this is almost like a line. So you see the staff is like kind of like hiding behind like the barrier that like hides the kitchen, and they're all like kind of like watching this, and then as the camera like goes behind them through like the doorway to the lounge, you see Henry and Sera watching the staff watching you.
So funny. Just takes a bite, lets the hand fall. What would drive you to choose a life that could be so unsatisfying, my dear Dev?
As soon as you say Dev, there's a moment for Omkar where like he forgets who he's trying to be this whole time. And in his mind, there's the flashbacks of blood, pain, death. more pain, powerlessness. And I think you gaze deep into Omkar, truly, instead of the brass devil. And he says, I remember being powerless. Sometimes the choices are made for you, or an impossible choice laid before you. Sell your soul, or save those you care about. You know what choice I made.
That's so interesting. I think I am in the same situation.
Hold on, I think I misphrased that. Sorry.
I think so,
Let me
maybe.
try that again. Yeah, no. Let me try that again. I was put in a position. Sell my soul to protect those I love. Or perish and be powerless like every mortal that was there that day.
CJ, roll, I'm gonna say you can roll survey, or I will also let you roll, like a resolve skill if you want. I think, honestly, this isn't the typical use for a tune, but I would let you roll a tune for this as well.
Oh, I have an attune, so...
Yeah.
Oh, God. I got a 5.
So, you're thinking about this. You're thinking about what you saw and what you're hearing now. And you saw a sad life, but you only ever saw one other person in the Brass Devil's life. So this opens up another level kind of understanding for you in knowing that he must have, if he talks about all of the people who died this day, you remember seeing a grave in your vision, and the Brass Devil kind of standing over it in grief. So you come to realize that it must have been more than just one.
Yeah. I didn't realize you had so many people that you cared about. Which makes sense.
I think Omkar catches himself perhaps indulging too much information about himself. And he kind of like quietly clears his throat. I can't say that I was wholly successful.
Shame. I think if I were in your shoes, I would make a very similar choice. I guess life isn't so easy on either side of the road. As they say that, they are more on the table. They are still wearing pants, but they bring their like left foot over across the across
that was
the Brass
interestingly
Devil's body.
phrased.
Yeah, I was like, where are we going?
And they say, but that answer satisfied me. As they kind of pick up a steak knife. And actually, sorry, the first thing they do is pick up your wine glass, drink it all, put it down, pick up a steak knife and say, well, that satisfied me, so I guess you deserve to be satisfied as well. And cuts their hand, pours it into the glass, and kind of leans in with the glass, kind of like with their shirt kind of like exposing a little bit of cleavage. Don't leave this date unsatisfied, dear.
Hey, Max.
Yeah.
Hey, Max, GM of 2 systems currently. Can I use Eternal Hunger? My move, Eternal Hunger.
So, first, I want to just say that from Henry and Sera's side, you see the sommelier on deck go, that wasn't the right one, but as Assurance cuts their hand, and you see one of the chefs go, shut up, no, and like cover his mouth, and he's like, what is this? And they are all continuing to watch with bated breath.
This is everyone reading this fan fiction. It's just like
I regret to inform the chat that the wine guy absolutely has my energy of that's not the right wine for this
That's
thing.
not the right one. For the thing.
Yeah. Listen, it's his whole job to pair the correct wines with the correct things.
I get it.
So...
A little too much aeration, so you have to drink
Right there, yeah.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mark. That being said, you want to use Eternal Hunger.
yeah. So I hunger for human blood, flesh, or emotions. Pick one. When you feed on someone, roll with blood. On a 10+, I pick all three. On a 7 to 9, choose 2, and on a miss, your hunger gets the best of you, and everyone suffers.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with you using that as long as everyone else at the table is also cool with that being
Yes.
Wonderful.
Okay, safety. Everyone's happy. Cool. I will now roll with blood. Funnily enough, the vamp move gives you a 2 in blood.
Oh wow, that's
Like all the vamps get it. And,
oh, it's so nice.
we hacked a little for like audience on the Urban Shadows side. All of our vampires are playing the vampire playbook of Urban Shadows, but they've been given kind of an extension to pick moves from certain other playbooks to customize their characters.
I love it.
So I rolled exactly a 7. So I was just okay before everyone suffered. No problems here.
Look, I think my partners would have been happy.
I think. Oh, let's make this gay. Let's make this
So-
gay.
As if it isn't already.
You get to choose 2 of the
Gayer.
bullet points, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I would like to learn a secret about my prey. And 2, I think I want to choose your prey doesn't suffer any harm. And I would like to do that in the gay way of as soon as Assurance you do that, like the brass devil kind of like leans over and like as you're holding the glass cups his hand under yours as you're holding the wine glass with his other hand holds the hand that's currently bleeding and drinks. And as he drinks, you see his eyes glow. You see the sclera turn white. That was once white, now turned dark and black. And his eyes are brighter. From a honey gold, it turns almost golden and yellow. And as he drinks, maintaining full eye contact with you, and you see that his hands turn slightly monstrous. There's claws that grow, but you feel the wound on your hand heal over like a scab.
Classic. And
he'll literally down the drink and smile and say, the strength card was right about you. You need not hurt yourself like this on my account.
I assure you, dear, I am one well experienced with pain. But I understand.
And
yeah, did we
if
fulfill
Assurance
your other
saw
bullet point?
yeah, can you give me a secret before I do the gay thing now I'm about to do?
A secret about Assurance. Assurance? Oh god, a secret about Assurance.
I will prompt you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what to say, but I'm gonna give you a thing to think about, which is why does Assurance love so hard? Like what happened to make them have all of this outward affection where there isn't as much toward themselves.
It is a reaction born from loss. It is a reaction that is spurs with anger. It is a filter through the strong emotions. It's like if you ran all of Assurance's emotions through a sieve, you would just get happiness, but that doesn't make the rest of them go away. Assurance actively chooses to be happy in spite of the fact that they live in this awful system, and moreover, they choose to be happy as an offset to the joy. No, the fear that there's a twisted emotion that Assurance gets when they kill vampires. It's one of the things that they enjoy so much. So to offset that, to feel just a bit more normal, the normal that they feel they deserve, they choose to be loving and happy in the rest of their time.
Okay, that would settle your other bullet point.
That would settle my other bullet point, and I think there's a complex quagmire of emotions that happens for Omkar. Because Assurance, in displaying that like element of themselves, has shown a path and a choice that Omkar could have taken, but didn't. And at that realization, Omkar's vampirism, that kind of monstrosity, softens for a moment, and Assurance, if you would allow, will place a very, very soft and gentle kiss on your cheek, and then pull away very, very quickly.
A very satisfying date as they pull their leg back over, walk over to their meal, which I think is half finished, and just finish it until I get, because I think that's literally our last course.
Yeah, there's dessert after this. Not that I even think you guys really need it. Henry and Sera, you have witnessed. I don't need to describe it. Anything to discuss?
You don't want to give a recap for that for us?
I'm fine.
Again?
I think we were all there.
What's Sarah's reaction first? I'm more.
It's like a face journey more than anything else. Like first, it's like, oh my god, like I know some vampires can use their eyes to like get people to do stuff. Like that's so scary. And then it's very clearly Assurance has the wheel, and it's like, oh, this is just oh. And then it's like the barest hint of jealousy, because it's not even like Sera would want to be like approached in that way, and like Sera has no interest in that. They view their relationship as something very like caring and practical, and something that they care about in that way. So, but there's the barest hint of like, I think I'd like to be seduced, and then that goes away very quickly because it's followed up with like just this simmering like, I need to find out if the Brass Devil is like on the trap and murder list or on the we get information and leave them alone, because one of the two has to happen. There can be no middle ground.
I think Henry watched all of this. I think with almost white knuckle, like rage. This is not like this is so unnecessary to Henry. The information is fine, but this extra like this unnecessary display, this is Assurance having fun. And while that's fine, I suppose, this is not what Henry's in it for. Henry does not care about any of this, and now she almost feels like she has wasted her time today being here. You're fine. Assurance is fine. I think Henry is simply just like, I would rather have been anywhere else, doing anything else, killing something. That would have made me feel something than having to sit through this.
Oof.
Yeah, and the whole time Sarah's very quiet. It's pure face journey.
So I think we're good to leave at any point.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be looking royal purple with the mask anytime soon.
I mean, I could go for killing something if we need to pick me up, but
I mean, I don't. It wouldn't even have the same. Like, I thought the whole point was like we're gonna schmooze and wine and dine, and then Sherance was gonna like pull out a sword and hold it up to people. You know the thing.
yeah, no, I know,
Yeah,
but
and I was gonna be like, I was gonna swoon a little, but never admit to it, and then, um, and then none of that happened, and this is fine. Like, I'm
well,
happy for
we'll always
Assurance.
have the pottery at least.
Yeah, you know
In a
what?
week,
We can
you'll be able
actually
to
go
pick up
back.
your flowers
Yeah,
and
by the
your fish.
time, yeah, by the time we're done here, it should be all ready to go, and we can take it home. And man, I don't know what I was expecting today, but I mean, I guess this is nice. It's just, I hope we made an ally at least.
Um, it we better have, or at least we've made this hunt easier down the road.
Right.
Uh,
And I'm also worried that like like maybe the Brass Devil is nice, but what about the Brass Devil's friends that Assurance
oh,
mentioned? Like they could be real nasty characters and then they could hurt Assurance, and I don't want anybody to hurt Assurance.
I don't think Assurance has the capability of getting hurt by any of them.
I hope so.
I do not tell her I said this. As
Oh,
much as I hate to admit it,
well.
this took a certain type of talent, not one that I necessarily have or even want to have, but one that I will acknowledge got them farther than I think anyone else could have.
Yeah. I hope it serves us well.
It
I wonder
better.
how I wonder how Enoch's gonna feel about this.
And at the
Oh,
mention of their name, you feel as if a ghost of a hand on each of your shoulders. It's warm, like as if it had touched like the tiles that surround a fireplace and then your shoulders. But if you look behind you, there is no one there.
Well, let's get our fish.
yeah.
Hey Henry,
Yeah.
I enjoyed our platonic work date.
Same. It was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But I do need to kill something sooner or later. I am
Oh,
getting restless about it.
okay. I heard there's like I don't know, one of them the vampire guards that's been getting a little too big for his britches. We could go knock him around a little bit.
I mean, it'd be fun. I don't want to
Yeah.
make you, and I don't have my sword, but I got
I
a
have
knife
like
and a gun. I could do it.
You guys can
yeah,
also
yeah,
pick up a bounty if you want.
yeah. I think and I want to be mindful of time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's definitely we could pick up our pottery and put it in a nice little box and I put it in my backpack and then we go pick up a bounty.
You could drop off the pottery at home.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
We'll drop
Yeah.
pottery, then go get a bounty.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the staff is very afraid to interrupt Assurance and Omkar. They wait until the moment is like as closed as it seems it's going to be, and then very silently clear your dishes. And then there's like a period after that where they don't come over, but eventually she approaches again and she goes, did you two have room for dessert?
I think I'm okay.
I think you are muted somehow, Val, because I don't
God
hear
damn it!
you.
You see, Omkar nods and says, I'm also alright. Thank you for your services.
Yeah, then please take all of the time that you need. Enjoy your evening, and you can flag us over if you'd like any refills on your beverages. The hall is yours for the
Refill beverages with the blood-stained wine
The rest
glass.
of the
Throw
evening.
that out.
Yeah, the hall is yours for the rest of the evening. Glad that our meals were satisfactory for you. And she scurries away.
Omkar will now put the metallic plating back to where his mouth is and click it shut. But the glow of his eyes is still really bright from behind the helmet. As he says, I had a very, very good time this evening.
I did too. I'm glad I came.
So did I. And you can decide whether or not you detect this or not, but there's definitely like a hint of surprise in that tone. And he says, I would stay out longer, but I'm afraid that I must begin preparations for the arrival of my friends and kin.
Of course, it is not a worry. I have enough. Well, you please do treat me to that home-cooked dinner next time if you can. When are your friends coming? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, when are they coming?
I
I'd
want
love
to
to
know
know.
also when are they coming to? Can I just go date?
Yeah, did you guys plan for the party to come down here? Is that a thing that happened?
believe
I feel
so.
like yeah. I feel like you guys mentioned having a second meeting, but it wasn't actually scheduled. So we can just say date floating in air. Which
Date
is relatively
floating in
soon.
air. That basically we're gonna be. I think the brass devil, would talk about like having to prepare to make a journey to meet at like I believe it was supposed to be like a midpoint location. It wasn't meant to be here.
Yeah, I think they did. They met at a midway point last time. But yeah, you can name like a nearby meeting point.
Yeah, I think I can make it vague as well. I think like
You
he
wanna
would
make it the
as
casino?
vague. We could make it the casino.
Sorry, you said vague as, and then I heard Vegas and thought you were talking about Lady Luck's.
No. I think his approach is like I'm gonna keep it vague, but also give enough information so it feels like I'm the brass devil. I still have to like keep and maintain like my position and things like that. Even though I do and am interested in you. But it's just kind of like, when you go on a date with someone, they're like, yeah, I'm meeting my parents over for like spring break. I'm not telling you where it is, but like I'm meeting them.
No,
it's gonna be
It's
a
happening.
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, that sounds wonderful. Well, I hope to know when that ends so that we, well, if you would like, have another outing. Again, I would love to try that. I'd love to see if you can stoke up those old cooking skills that you touted last week.
And there's an unrecognizable flash that goes in front of Omkar's face as he remembers his own experiences of that. And smiles and chuckles and says, I would very much like that.
Of course. I'll send you a letter.
Thank you. And yeah, I think like Omkar would very gentlemanly like hold Assurance's hand, like walk them to with the loud clanking metallic armor
And
to the entrance of this restaurant.
Nightmare for people.
Sensory nightmare.
I can like hear it in my brain and it hurts.
Yeah,
It
no,
hurts.
that's painful.
Omkar is also suffering because he has to hear it inside as well.
Oh, no!
Yeah, I would venture to say that maybe Dev has a little bit of hearing loss and doesn't bother him as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Omkar's literally like, I
That
have no
lines
idea how
up with
Div
his
does
background
this.
that none of you know fully. That would.
But yeah, like we'll lead you out, and if Assurance so allows, kind of like place the metal plating where his lips would be onto your hand and greet you goodbye.
They take it
for a nice
and I
evening
think
out.
they give you a flower out of their horns, place it in the thing. Have a little more joy in your life, dear.
That is very kind. And he will give you the strength card from the
Tasty.
tarot deck.
Puts it in the shirt, and they go their separate ways.
I'm shook that we're acting all distinguished after you were drinking blood out of their hand.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Half an
Well,
hour.
I don't know what you're
about-
talking
It's
about.
all about
Pepperidge
decorum.
Farms remembers. Okay.
It was clipped. It was clipped for posterity.
I don't know what you're talking about. We
That
were
didn't-
having a
yeah.
nice,
Normal.
elegant first date.
All right. With that,
Oh,
I think with that, with assurance on the way home, with Henry and Sera hunting a quick bounty, out on the edges of town as the moon shines bright in the sky, and Omkar returns back to a home that is not his, where the brass devil is there in earnest, waiting anxiously for his return. We end tonight's episode. Let's do some outros. I'm a reverse order guy. Val, take it away.
Me, hello, it's I. Hi everyone. I guested here on this episode. I'm Valiant Dorian. I use he and his pronouns. I'm a TTRPG performer, a Twitch variety streamer. You can find me all around the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure hunt I just set you on. And I just made my first ever TTRPG called The Beast Within. We're 100% funded on crowdfunder, and we're still crowdfunding for the stretch goals. As the campaign is extended. So if y'all want to support me, I talk a lot about it on my Twitter. Just follow me on Twitter. You'll know what I'm doing. And tonight I had the distinct pleasure of playing Omkar, totally the brass devil, and was gay. It's great. I'm going to pass introductions back over to Dare.
Hi, I'm Dare. Pronouns she, they, Faye. I am just so very sad, so eternally. There's no sunrise for me at the end of this story if I play my cards
There
right.
is if I have something to say about it.
We'll see. We'll see whose will win. Anyway, you can find me on any part of the internet at Dare to Dream RPG. That is DARE, the number 2, DREAM RPG. I am a writer, editor, musician. I do 17 things. So just find me on the internet. Currently, I've been yelling about wrestling this week. So yes, continue to see me yelling about women in wrestling. I'm going to throw it over to Ian.
Hi everybody, my name is Ian. My pronouns are he, they. You can find me on the Twitter at Ian_Caliente. That's Ian _ the Spanish word for hot. You can also find me currently on the internet. We just wrapped up our D&D game on Ballad of the Seven Dice. So after a couple weeks break, we will be starting a Lancer game where I will be the GM. It will take place on a planet with bisexual lighting because I get to choose the setting this time. And it will be debuting, barring any major acts of God, April 18th at our usual start time of 7:30 EST. We have a lot of the same cast and a new cast member, Anna, who is a delight. And we will be piloting mechs and punching space pirates. And I get to decide all the funny names for mechs. In fact, I will occasionally do Twitter polls to have people suggest funny names for mechs for me. So if you'd like to give me a cursed name for a mech, I would be happy to receive it. But yeah, please do that. And those are the main places you can find me. I'm in some podcasts, but we're in a lull at the moment. So as soon as other projects come up, I will mention them. But that's where I'm at. I'm going to pass it over to CJ.
Hi everyone, I'm CJ, aka Scholastic Dragon, your local gay disaster that never stops screaming about Blue Lock on their Twitter account. If you like what I do here, I don't know, follow me on Twitter or something. I make TikToks sometimes. And I try to conglomerate all of my VODs on YouTube. So if you're like, I want to watch more CJ, you can. You can catch me on the Blurred Mouth podcast. That is a podcast made by Black people, for Black people, and for anyone that's, not weird, racist, and gonna be weird about black people's shit. You can go watch that. I guess the first time I'm saying this on the internet, we're gonna have an actual play coming out soon. Well, not soon, eventually. You can catch our last actual play, Woeful Revelry, already out. Like that has 3 episodes. Our next one's gonna have like, I don't know, double the episodes that we had last time. Be on the lookout for that. Maybe we'll be doing some streaming. Who knows? And it's literally based on my energy levels, mine. That's all. I'm job searching. So if you or someone that you know knows someone that needs a community manager, hi, nice to meet you. I work. That's it.
I am Max. You can find me anywhere that I want you to find me on the internet at Arcane Goth. You can find me here running this show every Monday. I am the only one in the cast who doesn't alternate, because I'm the only one that knows what happens in the end. And if that strikes fear into your heart, good. You can find me doing some stuff with Apochromatic coming up that's been pre-recorded. We've got a Court of Blades campaign, which I think might be my favorite thing I've ever been a player in, barring my first ever D&D campaign long before my streaming days. So that is a big compliment to the folks over there. I love them very much. Other than that, I'm kind of taking a break right now. I'll be at Anime Boston this weekend. If you're from Boston, hit me up. I'm cool and nice. I'll be in some cosplays. I'll be hanging out. So come say hi to me. That's it. That's all we wrote tonight on Take Your Roll. I hope everyone has a good night. We will see you next Monday with the vampires. So help me God. Good night, everyone.